Hello all, welcome back to the Alpine OW channel, and today is me the first OWCS Overwatch World Cup related video I want to do today. And today it's the USA Trial team, and who I think will be on the team and who I think my dream team would be. I'm going to give everyone their flowers today and talk about every single trial, person going into trials, and just what their strength to a team like the USA World Cup would be. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the trial team right now. And here it is in all of its glory, everyone who is trialing for Team USA. So we have Infected, Hawk, Peluge, Painkiller, Tree, Chronic, Sugar Free, Zira, Vega, RuPaul, Ultraviolet, Luke Mina, and Landon. I want to start off with this backline because I think there's a bigger talk here than most. Starting off Vega, I think he's a lock on the team, and I think he is the best main support USA can offer right now. I do think Luke Mino is strong. I just think Vega can play more with like the Zen, and he can flex onto the Kiri. I think he's just a little bit more flexible than Luke Mino is, and just a little bit tiny better. But I do think Luke Mino is still a great player and deserves his flowers. Now here's where more of a debate comes in. Would you rather have RuPaul, Ultraviolet, or Landon? Now, RuPaul I think is the most flexible support on this list. I think he can play the Zen really well. I think he can play Kiri really well. Same with the Ana, the BAP, and the Juno. I think he can play those 5 heroes really well, and that's a lot more than maybe UV or Landon could say. Landon is is probably the best Kiri in the world, maybe besides Simple, but I think he's the best NA Kiri, and probably even the best NA BAP. Actually, is the best BAP in the world right now. Is Landon, and I think he's gonna be a great pick here if we can pick him up. And UV is also a really great conversation. I think he's on the same level as RuPaul, but he also has the Wu Yang on him. So if we want to play a Wu Yang, I think we should bring in Ultraviolet for that. So maybe we can do. So I think a dream lineup for the supports would be Vega, Landon, and Ultraviolet. It covers every hero in the support pool, and it gives us probably the best player on each role. But I do think what they will pick is probably a Vega RuPaul and probably Ultraviolet backline. Unless you just want to have the Vega RuPaul backline, which covers most of every hero. I think that's what they're going to do, is just pick the Vega RuPaul backline and call it a day. Next, I want to talk about the DPS line. I think there's a little less discussion on this one besides for the flex DPS role. I think it's pretty clear that I think they'll pick Tree for the hit scan role. While I do like Chronic, and I think he's a great player, I think Tree just covers a little bit more, and he's a little more flexible too. He can play that flex DPS, and he can play. You could probably put that guy on any DPS hero, and he would be amazing on it. But the flex DPS role is a little like the dedicated flex DPS role is a little more of a debate. Sugar Free versus Zira. Do you keep the chemistry with Tree with Zira, or do you go with a little more of a flexible player like Sugar Free? While I do think Zira is still a really great player and is on par with Sugar Free's Tracer and Genji, I think Sugar Free can just take over the Echo more, the Mei more. Just most of the flex DPS heroes, I think he's a little bit better on than Zira. But with Zira, the Tracer's really good, and the Genji's really good, and of course, there's already chemistry between Tree and Zira. So for my dream team, I would go with a Tree, Sugar Free DPS line, and then I would go. But I think in reality, they're gonna choose a Tree and Zira backline DPS line. And now here's where I sit and ponder about the tank line. Now, of course, I think there's one really clear pick here, and that's going to be Infected. That guy can cover almost any tank on the roster. If that means a Winston, a Mauga, a Ball. You can cover just about anything besides 2 big heroes in the current meta and could be still meta at World Cup, and that's Zarya and D.Va. Now, the other 3 tanks on the list cover those heroes really well. Hawk, Peluge, Painkiller. Now, if you want the best, just most talented player out there, I would go with Hawk. I think he's the best Zarya and D.Va, but honestly, I'm going to go with a sleeper pick here and go with Painkiller. I think I want Painkiller instead of Hawk because, yes, I do think Hawk is the better diva than Zarya, like I said, but I do think Painkiller covers a little bit more heroes, like a Ram. For example, say if they ban a diva, either the diva Zarya and Hawk's having a bad game on diva or something, he can't really flex onto the Ram like Painkiller can. So that's the reason why I pick Painkiller to represent. So I would go with my dream team a infected Painkiller tank line, but in reality, I think they're gonna choose the infected and Hawk back line. So there it is. There's our teams. So the reality team basically is just Team Liquid, but instead you have Hawk instead of Kaluge. Of course, you can go with Kaluge to mesh well with it, but I think Hawk is just a better player right now. And for my dream team, it's a core of the Liquid guys plus Painkiller, Sugar Free, and Landon, because I think those guys, my dream team is looking for the flexibility factor instead of just like best, I guess, like best meshing players. And I do think there's actually a few snubs off the trial list. While I do understand why there are snubs, we have a lot of talent here in the USA. And as Oshi put it best in this tweet, no reason to trial players who are never going to be chosen. The pool of players for USA, unlike many other nations, is very well known and understood. It isn't worth wasting the time. They're already reaching a bit with the current trial list. I would argue it's forgiving as is. And I have to agree. I think we have a lot of great players here, and I think it would be almost a waste of time for the other players. But I wish we did see Zeb maybe on this list, or like Chopper. Just some other name talent, just to give him a little bit of a shout and a little bit of a boost. Because I think there's a lot of great players. Ryan would have been cool. Zomba would have been cool to see here as well. Um, but like I do think I do wish there was some more people shouted out, but. Um, we do have a great big wide brand of known players that we just it's unfortunately be a waste of time to try out with those people, and I think Oshi did a really great job at explaining that. So there it is. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a short one, but I just wanted to get my mind and thoughts out there. I want to pick up more OWCS videos like this. And of course, this isn't OWCS, this is World Cup, but you know what I mean. I want to pick up more pro Overwatch esports videos like this, so please let me know if you enjoy this kind of stuff. Thank you, and bye.